Hello everyone! Today I bring to you a bit of an unusual match. And this was not, I had to do a little bit of digging, let's say, to find this kind of game. Because, usually I bring to you like Global League, tournaments, some high level playing in like your normal tiers and meta and stuff like that. Well, this is not going to be like that. This is going to be very different. We are going to have two very top players, Jokas and Kill Me First, very high level players. Jokas has been in the community, I think, for a really long time. He probably played more back in the day. He doesn't play that much now. He'll join a tournament here or there, but I think he's like of the school of like Voice of Akasha, like just being historically on the site. Very strong player. And Killing First is more of the newer wave and is really good. Not sure if he's playing Global League now anymore, but he always performs really well, plays in tournaments. They're both really top level. But first, of course, let's address the elephant in the room. This is not going to be your usual matchup, right? We have Grit and we have a COLIN. So this was a sort of a casual game that they were having, I'm guessing. I wasn't able to find why this match was played, but I'm assuming it was some kind of like test to see if Grit could beat COLIN or COLIN could beat Grit, because these two COs, they are tier 0 COs, right? Like you never will see these two in standard because they are considered way too strong. Grit, because his artilleries are just bonkers. They have, 4 range plus attack and just gets power super cheap to get even more range. Standard is all about just, infantry, tanks. Usually you don't have a lot of funds, and Grit's army is perfect because you just need infantry and artillery. That's all he really needs. Also, this might be like the best map for Grid as well. I just realized, because there's no airport. The fact that there's no airport makes it so good for Grid. So yeah, that is going to be really, really strong. He can just make infantry and artillery pretty much, and he will be happy. He doesn't even have to make anti-air to deal with copters. So that is Grid on one hand. It is also pretty choky. And then we have COLIN, and COLIN, you will never ever see COLIN on any kind of competitive play because he is busted. He has 20% cheaper units. They are a little bit weaker in firepower. They have like 10% deficit in firepower, but that's it. 20% cheaper to have all your units is pretty insane. And then he has a power that gives him more money, and then a super that gives him more strength with the more money he has. So this map is also unusual because this kind of map you will not see in the Global League or tournaments nowadays. It might have been back in the day, but in today's standards, it's way too choky and just narrow and not a lot of like contested properties. So really easy to stall it out and just proliferate with artillery, just like a lot of artillery everywhere, and just make big walls of infantry and artillery. So definitely the best map for Grid. if there ever was a map that was good for Grid, this is probably one of them. And yeah, it looks like these two guys were just testing to see COLIN Grid, could COLIN beat Grid in a map that's really good for Grid? Could Grid beat the COLIN who is just busted? So yeah, so let's get right into the match. We have Jokas. I put him in Purple Lightning with Grit, and then we have Kill Me First with COLIN in Amber Blaze. They actually were playing with different colors. They were actually Jokas had Blue Moon, and then Kill Me First had Yellow Comet because that's his. He always likes that color. But I know a lot of you would get confused and stuff like that, because one is Blue Moon, like they're both Blue Moon, COs, etc. Doesn't matter. Just change them. And so we're already going to start to see some pressure from COLIN, right? Expect different strategies and objectives here for the both of them. You're going to have just Grit wanting to just sit back, just capture as many things as possible. Of course, you're gonna, you want to get your base, but then just capture what's yours and then just sit back. Just like make more infantry, make more artillery, just cover everything. If you get to 50 units, it's like, okay, how are you gonna break through grid, right? And then COLIN, you're gonna expect COLIN to be really aggressive. There's also these nice roads, so he's gonna be making use of those recons to start putting pressure, not let grid get too comfortable. This is also just one turn away from being able to interrupt with a recon, so that's pretty crazy. I wonder if maybe from here no, it was the same thing. So yeah, COLIN gets everything much cheaper, so he's gonna try to put pressure, not let grid accumulate and be comfortable. Just send him to the corner of the earth, pretty much. Just keep pushing him back, and then just try to win with more units. COLIN, it's all about that. It's the quantity and sort of the quality of the units, because he can afford bigger units, just bigger tech ups. It's definitely a problem because grid doesn't really care that you have tech ups, because his artillery are gonna shred through your medium tanks and neo tanks, as well as through normal tanks. So it's definitely gonna be a challenge. And so Killing First now going for triple recon. Probably one is gonna go towards here, maybe put some pressure. And Jokas can only answer with one artillery so far, so it's gonna be tricky for Jokas to answer to this early recon pressure, which is highly unusual to see in games. So yeah, Jokas is gonna keep moving out, gonna get that base, gonna get those cities, and due to the funds, he only had 5k. He can make mech infantry. That is pretty much it. This artillery is protecting these two infantries. This one is ready to go for one of these two. It is protecting these two and also protecting this infantry in the base from this recon. And then this mech is like, I don't know, just there, just doing stuff. Not sure why the mech, he would have 3k plus 8, that's 11. Okay, there might be some reason. But Killing First gonna bring all three of the recons, it looks like, down over here. I would expect maybe Killing First to try to deny Jokas from getting these, like any of the two comm towers or any of these two properties, and just this, like, try to put as much pressure as he can early on. Try to control as much of the map as possible. But here goes Jokas, gonna position everything so that this artillery can cover every tile that this recon could attack from, or any of these as well. The thing is that this is a classic case of I have 3 recons, you can only hit one of them pretty much. And so Jokas is now forced to make a tank as grid, but I guess that's fine. It's funny though that grid's tanks cost normal, yet they are weaker than COLIN's cheaper tanks. Because he has 80% and COLIN has 90%. And so that is exactly what Killing Force is gonna go at right now. Instead of just like, oh no, Americans are gonna get shot at, he's just like, I need to put the pressure. I'm gonna take this guy that was capturing. He could also either attack this guy right here, or this guy from the city with that extra defense. So he probably thinks about it. And it makes even more recons. So we got the first 3, and then we have another wave of recons. This one is going to be trying to deny this. It's even going to deny the comm tower, because this infantry cannot reach the comm tower right now. So it's going to get shot. And then we have another one as well. So really forcing the hand here from Jokas. Going to force him to make a tank, maybe to send it over here. It's very funny that he's being forced to make tanks as grid, right? Like, you want to get to that arties, that arty mass, like make lots of arties. You don't even need rockets. You don't even need missiles here. Just arties, just infantry and artillery. That's all that grid needs here. So he's gonna take a shot on this recon with artillery, gonna shoot at this one with a tank, and Killing First, no response to any of the tanks really. Recons also great because they deal really good damage against recons, about like 5 HP. So they are definitely really worth. And Jokas, instead of going for any capture here or maybe like holding back, you know, like, oh, maybe I'll wait a few turns. No, he's just like, you know what, if I can get these, I'm just gonna sacrifice my guy to injure yours and slow your captures as well. So he's kind of giving up this corner. We'll see what happens over here in this corner as Killing First is getting closer, right? But just tons and tons of recons here from Killing First. Gonna interrupt over here, gonna take out this infantry with that recon right there. This one's probably gonna go towards the middle. So, just so much pressure, so many recons. And they're so cheap for COLIN too. They're what, like 3,200? So cheap. I'm guessing this tank is gonna go towards over here towards the corner so that this infantry can't get onto these mountains, just like the recon did over here. So infantry gonna try, okay, takes out the recon, gonna attack from the city. And at the same time, it does exactly that thing of covering these tiles, so this infantry cannot get away with just getting ready for the com tower for free. So if it wants to sit on this tile even, it's gonna get shot by this tank. Actually not. I think you can put this guy over here and then you bring this one over here and then you're blocking and then you can get the com tower. So I think Killing First is really going to want to get the com tower, try to get more firepower so he can start breaking. What is this wall of infantry? that is crazy. Yeah, we got the infantry walls right here. Classic. So I think, is he gonna do that? Yeah, he does just exactly that. He is going to let this guy get shot at just to ensure to get this com tower. Nice little blocking right there. Gonna get this one ready for the com tower. So he's actually gonna get both com towers. And then he takes out that infantry. And now the tanks are coming up for COLIN. No more infantry. He's somewhat low on infantry numbers, but I think he's doing fine. So in like a good position for COLIN, but slowly but surely Jokas is now going to try to move out. All these tanks are getting those shots on those recons. We got this one that's going back to repair. This one I got the second artillery. So this is slowly going to get into what Jokas wants as grid. Will he make another one? I think he makes a tank. Yeah, okay. Yeah, tank to protect these guys over here. Because there's just so many recons. Even this, oh, okay, this one doesn't reach. But you could do like boom, 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 boom. Just hit with every recon you have, and yeah, it's just like a nightmare. So there goes Killing First. He's actually gonna continue capturing this, and I think he'll get it. I don't think Jokas can reach to interrupt this in 2 turns, and he'll get that com tower, and he'll get this com tower as well. Also, didn't go for the attack on this guy. So yeah, double com tower COLIN is going to hurt Jokas right here. COLIN is gonna have 110 firepower with 20% cheaper units, so that's gonna be pretty strong. And Great is gonna have to rely on numbers of artillery and then try to slowly push, no? I think that's what he's trying to do, is trying to amass. He's trying to create that death ball, that grit death ball that he likes so much. And so we'll see if and when Grit can get to that. That's like the prime objective. He is going to get to a little interrupt over here. Oh, okay. So it isn't range on this tank, but this artillery is going to cover it, and that's the great things of covering from like so far away. That's crazy. We're gonna start a capture as well. So it already has 2 jobs, maybe too many, but we got this one as well covering that capturing infantry. So we got 1 and 1. Got a mech and an infantry, and just gonna block over here. Nice little wall. I don't think you can break through here as Killing First. You would have to, yeah, because if to take out this guy or this guy, you need 2 tiles or an anti, and there isn't any. So Killing First is gonna get the double com tower, and he does have the income lead as well, because he has this one that Jokas doesn't have. he also has this city right here that Jokas doesn't have. Boom. So just sending recons in to attack all the infantry, just like first striking. Another one, boom, 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 just sends all 4 to attack over here, plus this one interrupting that capture. And I'm gonna bring all the other recons, this one that was healing up, bring the tanks. And get in position, get a kill there. So he's like sort of sacrificing his recons, I guess, but he's also just starting a fight. Like he needs to keep the fight going. He doesn't want to let Jokas to just sit comfortably. He has an income lead, he has a firepower lead. He even has pretty good powers, right? As COLIN, he can use the power and get more money. Stuff is so cheap for COLIN. It's just like he can sacrifice stuff because he'll just get more. The problem might be being at a very big disadvantage of unit numbers, of unit count. So sacrificing a lot of units, and then it's like, ooh, okay, grid has 30 and you have like 20, and then your options become very little. So let's see. Jokas is gonna use a tank on that recon. Gonna keep capturing here. What are these arties going to shoot at? Okay, tank shoots at that recon. Okay, this arty shoots at this one over here. Gonna take it out. Ooh, doesn't take it out. And takes that one out. Okay, and this one shoots over here. And has to pull back, sort of protecting this arty. But yeah, King First is gonna get the city as well. That's gonna be 14 to 10k. Although again, low income is perfect for grid, right? So as long as he can make infantry and artillery, he is going to be happy. If he can make double RD infantry, just get to that 13k maybe, he can make double RD infantry every turn, boom, boom. if you have like 20 or 30 artillery altogether, how do you deal with that? This is why you never see these COs in Global League. They're just crazy. So King First is actually gonna break through here, probably with intent to attack this artillery. Doesn't even matter if the tank dies. It is covered here, I think, specifically by Jokas, in case this would happen. Let's see if Killing First. Okay, he doesn't go for the attack there. So you're starting to notice that Killing First is trying to be a little bit less, or he's trying to be more careful. No, he's trying not to throw too many units away now. He's put under pressure. He's attacked. He has the double com tower. He has the income. But at a certain point, if he keeps smashing units into this to injure something and then lose a unit, he's gonna be at a unit count disadvantage, like really fast, and it can be a big problem against grid. So let's see. We're gonna get a shot there. But yeah, you can see like how Killing First had to pull back, like no more first strikes over here. Put a recon on the city, probably aiming to try to capture block here with the recon. Some sort of shenanigan there. This already is locking this property, so he cannot go for that. But yeah, the Joker is now somewhat overextending. But I think it's like he wants to solidify his position over here. There's this nice mountain though. So cutting off the tactical opportunities for Killing First. You got this one covering all those tanks, pretty much covering every single unit. We got this one covering some or most of the units, plus this artillery. You got this one also that is not attackable by any unit. Remember, COLIN doesn't have +1 movement also, so that usually is a nice tool against grid. Because as he's like out positioning you with extra range, you can maybe out position him with extra movement. Say like Max, stuff like that. This tank is actually running out of ammo. Has been shooting at too many recons. So, Killing First, as we get the powers, we're really starting to get charged. Jokas could use a power as well. Like he could, get that extra +1 range. Killing First could also use Gold Rush to get more money. So he has 18k now. He could get like, I think you get like 50% extra. So he would get another 9k bring him up to 27, and I don't know, make a mega tank, something like that. But doesn't seem like he's gonna use it. He's actually gonna pull away the recon, and he's not gonna go for that capture, it seems like. Okay, he does use the power, and he gets the 27k and makes a rocket. Wow, okay. You guys like watching these COs? Well, here you have it. We have a rocket from COLIN. I think it's probably to somewhat outrange the arties, so they can't so comfortably zone him out. But I think it's also to try to lock this property down, as it looks like Jokas is really moving forward to try to flip it. I don't think that he should do that though. It's a little bit overextended, I think. I'm not sure if he can get that, but we'll see. There he goes. He is going to push forward a little bit, seems like. And he also, like, Killing First did position all these tanks so far away. I think he's pretty much afraid from a +1 range here and just getting a first attack on all those tanks. Like, every artillery gets a shot, boom, boom, boom. You take out 4 tanks. Oh, that's gonna hurt so much. But yeah, I'm actually surprised of the rocket buy. Very, very interesting. And he's gonna make arty, infantry, and makes the arty over here as well. So with plans to, it looks like, try to take over this area. Maybe not really trying to go for this flip. Maybe he's just trying to invite attacks and pick off Kill Me First units. You can start to see the unit count is starting to dwindle a little bit. I think Killing First is still doing a really good job. He's like pulling back all the injured units and just healing them up. But I think the plan by Jokas right now is going to try to shift down over here, try to get this, get the comm tower, and try to get to equal income, get that equal income. There is no day limit here either. This was just like a casual game that they made. I would actually have to check, but I'm pretty sure there's no day limit. But anyways, he actually, Killing First goes here for a breakthrough, so takes out that infantry that was capturing with recon infantry and sends a tank to attack this guy. So it looks like he's just like plunging in. Gonna first strike that mech and that other tank and give a little tap on that artillery. Gonna get this guy in position for this city and it's gonna start that capture. Brings the rocket. Okay, maybe next turn it's gonna be doing something. And then just repair and make double recon tank. Just like so many vehicles, right? So now as Jokas, you do want to, I think you want to interrupt this somehow. But yeah, not having a single healthy infantry in range hurts a lot. So I'm not sure how you're going to do that. You do need to keep one to protect here. Will we see a power by Grit right now? Let's see. Yeah. So Grit decides to use the power. I think, look at that range. Insane. They have the range of a rocket. So, boom, one tank goes down, boom, a recon goes down, another tank goes down, and almost takes out that tank. This infantry is gonna get in position over here. And yeah, we're just gonna take out units, replenish the wall, and protect the artillery. Bring the other one. And yeah, this is the only infantry for Jokas over here that are like healthy. If only he had one more and then he can start capturing these two, flip the comm tower, that would be really nice. And now it's Killing First turn. He has the power. He can use Gold Rush like over and over again, honestly. But let's see. He's gonna keep attacking here. There's no tank that can reach this artillery. He's gonna attack with the infantry, and he's just gonna attack over here. This is a pretty, well, actually, I'm not sure if it's overextended. This base is just like, this map is just way too close, like, because he does have this base, right? Like, he is one turn away from here, but these are a little bit further away, while Killing First can send all 3. So, I think this is an area that would benefit Killing First to attack into, and he uses the power to get more money. So now he's at 20k. He's gonna take out that and just keep attacking. Mostly attacking infantry, but he does get a shot onto this artillery. There is still 4 more ready to shoot. And it's funny because Killing First doesn't have a lot of infantry over here. Like his walls are just recons and tanks. Look at how many recons there are. This is telling me, yeah, he has 9 recons. Joker is gonna get a shot over there. All these tanks, boom, are just gonna get shot at, boom, and then probably take out this tank and this tank. So you take out all the higher value vehicles, yeah, boom, and that one, boom. But King First still has more, and he also has recons. And recons, again, they deal pretty good damage against those artillery. And somehow the unit count is still pretty even. I think King First has been doing a really good job here at still taking out units. Like he'll lose 2 or 3, but he'll still kill another 2 or 3. Whatever is injured, he might send it back to heal. Now that rocket finally got a shot into that injured tank, gonna clear away, so he's able to attack some of the artillery. So I think that's pretty good. So sort of like cleaning up, like getting rid of the unit count by grid, and I think that's definitely something really good that you want to be doing against grid. You don't want grid to be able to accumulate too many units, because remember, his arties have this range, right? So you can have layers and layers of infantry. Or say, like, imagine 20-30 artillery by grid. How are you gonna deal with that? Just like a big ball of artillery. And yeah, Kill Me First uses Gold Rush yet again, so he's gonna get more money. He's now at 22k after he built a rocket, so he has a lot of cash. Makes a tank, so now down to 16. He will make a medium tank maybe, but against grid it doesn't make sense to make tech ups, so he's just gonna make another tank. He is going for the rocket play against grid, which is, it's viable, but it's very expensive. Okay, for COLIN it's less expensive, right? I think they cost 12k. It's still double the cost of an artillery. To just have 1 more range than an artillery, and then even then grid can just use the power and just attack at your rocket. So it's very tricky. I think Jokas here though does have to pull back. King First did kind of just pull back some of the units. Doesn't want to lose too many. So Jokas gonna use all this artillery to clean up all of these infantry and units by killing first, and gonna get this one ready to capture over there. Yeah, just cleaning up over here and bringing in more artillery. So we got 4, 5.5. Now Killing First has 24k and doesn't have the charge for a power yet. We also have here a little stare down. We got these 3 infantry that Joka has accumulated against these 2, but there's also these recons that Killing First has now started to send, which is gonna force Jokas to send an artillery or a tank over here. So we'll see. Killing First now getting ready to either capture here or just prevent Jokas to get it. I think it's mostly to be in range of the mountain, so if Jokas captures, he can interrupt from the mountain. That's gonna be nice. Even brings a recon. And Rocket is coming over here, and looks like he's sort of getting away from these forces. I'm not sure that no, actually, yeah, Jokas cannot capture this anymore. This rocket is nice and protected behind that mountain, so that that city is never gonna get captured with that rocket right there. And so he's kind of sending most of these vehicles, all these tanks, these recons towards the left as he starts to capture this property by Jokas. So really forcing the issue. And that's the thing with grid as well. Like lots of artillery, you can't front shift them just like Killing First is doing right now. And he built a Neo tank as well. So this is gonna be a really good tool for Killing First to break through, just to one hit KO something and then get another tile to attack from, right? Because we were saying, as we were seeing, like you can attack, you can do first strikes, but if you didn't get your unit killed, what good does that do? So with a new tank, he'll be able to break through and then chain more attacks. He can probably also make anti-air just to be able to take out infantry in one blow. So that's gonna be pretty strong. Actually, let's check that 1 second. Now that we have the move planner, Also, what do you guys think of reviewing these games on the site? I think it's pretty cool. I can use the calculator and stuff. So with 2 towers, it is guaranteed, but with 1, oh, okay, it's not guaranteed. So maybe that's why he hasn't been doing a lot of anti-air. Because with 1, yeah, that's pretty bad. This is just like base stats. With 2, it is really nice. And I think that would help a lot. But Jokers is gonna go for this capture right here. We do have this infantry ready to do that. This rocket though looks like it could just get here and then lock down this. It could lock down this comm tower. No, it would have to be on this plains. And so yeah, Jokers gonna abandon the city, which makes a lot of sense. Kind of switching over here towards the left and sending a little bit over here towards the right. I think maybe a bit too much, but since you have this tank that's blocking this recon from doing anything. But I don't know, maybe he really wants to guarantee this. He's planning a little bit longer term to try to get both the city and the comm tower. He doesn't want the rocket to be able to sit on the city, for example. Maybe even this plains. If he uses the super, he can snipe that rocket with +2, so having the range of a battleship. And yeah, he also goes for the interrupt over here, so we're not gonna let Killing First get that property. And Killing First, boom, boom. Gonna probably start the capture again. Yeah, there you go. I wonder if this imagery could have finished this off, but he's probably gonna send it off to heal up, which I think makes sense because he wants to keep those infantry alive because he doesn't want to make more. He just wants to be making vehicles. If he can make tank recon every turn or something like that, that'd be great. And I'm actually surprised of this, an artillery by Killing First. I guess my guess is he'll send it over here to kind of protect this capture and ensure the flip. I wonder if this is even interruptible by Jokas. Because these tanks, I don't think will kill these recons. Yeah, no, they'll leave it at 4. That's a great tank for you without comm tower. Actually, there's no way. Yeah, I think this city will fall for sure. There's no way to break through, even with 2 tanks killing it. There's nothing to hit that infantry. Here comes a Neo tank towards the middle, gonna try to mirror the movement of this little army. And the rocket is moving out of behind the mountains and gonna start locking down this city. I think this whole movement is to try to stop this, like stop Jokas from capturing any of this. Eventually try to get this city, just like being very flexible, you know, like I need to put that pressure area, boom, 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 boom. And Jokas is like trying to catch up. It's like okay, let me, like he is behind on every count, on value and income and everything. He now flips that one, so now at 13-15, okay, it looks like it is going to be a guarantee that he'll get the comm tower. Jokas really not leaving him any option whatsoever, because if you had this image in the mountain, it would have gotten shot at. If you had it here, it can just get shot at. So yeah, it was a guarantee that he would be able to get this comm tower. And Jokas gonna shoot at both those recons. Just bring that artillery, and yeah, not gonna be able to interrupt that capture. And reposition here a bit, being very wary of that Neo tank. Doesn't want to let anything in range. Maybe this. Okay, not even. Nothing is in range of that Neo tank. It just like emanates a sphere. It has that aura. It's like do not have anything. But realistically, he could just like take it out with 3 artillery, I'm pretty sure. So Killing First is going to hit that flip, and that's gonna hurt. How is this city flipped is crazy, but really good job there by Killing First. Just kind of sacrificing a little bit of unit value. Didn't even lose a unit, except I think an infantry. Not sure, but yeah, really well done there. But with not even losing, maybe lost a unit. I don't know, but. Really good, really good. It's gonna even send these back to repair. I'm gonna have to pull back over here. So yeah, that comm tower is gonna get flipped. Now finally, grid will have 110 on everything. Tanks will be 90. Arties will be 130. right? Yeah, he gets 20. And Colin will go down from 110 to just 100. So, boom, there we go. I got the com tower. And we are starting to get a lot of unit buildup. So, it is 12 to 16 though. So, Grid is going to want to still flip some more properties. It's so sad that he lost this one. So, he's probably going to try to get that back. And it looks like because of most of the army of Killing First is over here, he can try to focus over here a little bit, try to regain that property back. And yeah, I guess the properties are these two. These are the only two that Killing First has both of them. So Jokas is going to try to get this one. This one is being locked by his artillery, but it's going to be hard to get back. So we're going to come in, just kill infantry, and that's probably it. Just trading a recon for an infantry, I think makes sense. I understand the logic there. This is just kind of, these rockets are just trying to zone out, you know. But I don't know, like if you're playing here, who would you want to be? Would you want to be Colin right here? Would you want to be Grid? Like this is definitely an important moment, right? Like there's a lot of tension. Like what do I do? If you're Grid, it's like I need to flip some stuff, but at the same time, I'm pretty chill just being in this like 40% of the map, you know. And just accumulate, just double RD infantry, and Colin is like, I need to make recons, I need to make tanks, I need to make a lot of vehicles, I need to keep the pressure, I need to keep it going, I need to get that income lead, just have a big army. As we see, also Killing First saving up money. He has 21k. He just made triple infantry, so we'll see what his plans are. Regan's just gonna go down. And this is it. This is as far as Jokas will probably push over here. I think your next objective is this city, and then maybe move on to this one as you get like a huge mass of units. And maybe at equal income, he'll be fine as long as he can amass those artillery. Here comes this rocket in a position where it can't be shot at. Well, I guess yes, with a power, right, from this artillery. But there is something about holding that power as Grid, because you're forcing them into a very awkward position. It's about the possibility of the power, right? So having that power always on, even a super, like he has to be careful. Even putting the Neo tank in range of this artillery, that is pretty funny. Will he get a shot there? So, and actually, Killing First is going to allow that city flip. So now they're 13, 15. They're just 2k away, just one city. And it looks like Jokas is not going to go for that, which I guess makes sense because you have this rocket. But now it's going to be pretty hard. I think this rocket can just front shift over here and lock this down. But yeah, Jokas' next plan is to go for this. Get this city, get this com tower. Maybe then he'll be happy enough to just sit back and protect everything. I do not think he wants to push any further over here or here, unless Killing First allows it. Is he gonna get a shot on that new tank or not? Doesn't shoot at the Neo tank. Wow. I am very surprised at that. Why? It does 3 or 4 damage. Why would you not shoot at the Neo tank? To not generate charge? So, this might be a good moment to mention. Look at that income, those funds by Killing First. It's 41k, right? This Neo tank that hasn't been shot at is just going to go in and attack. But the reason maybe that Jokas doesn't want to generate charge is because he might be afraid of Colin's super. So maybe some of you that play a lot of casual games will know more about this. Maybe some of the people that only play competitive and haven't played Colin or haven't seen a Colin in a very long time might have forgotten about this aspect. But Colin's super is pretty busted. He gets extra firepower, and it's a weird math. I'll try to put it on screen, but he gets extra firepower the more money he has, pretty much. And it doesn't have a limit, so you could have 50, 100k, I don't know, a million funds, you know. Just like it can just keep going, and that it keeps going. It's like it's a line graph, you know. So the more income he has, the more firepower he gets, and it can get to really absurd levels. So I think that's something that maybe Killing First is going to start to bank on, as he has 41k, and he's been saving that money. He hasn't been using power to get to this amount. He's just built infantry, built a few recons last turn. Let's see now. He is going to make recon, infantry. Again, saving up money. He has 36k now. He'll get 15 more next turn. So I think that might be the plan here, as he literally is sacrificing a Neo tank to kill a tank. Which is, yeah, it's just going to die in 2 shots. Oh, wow. That is insane. Look at that grid. Just absolutely insane. Yeah, but that is going to give him some charge. And so, even gets a shot on that artillery. I would have to go back to see why this artillery was left there, but I don't think it matters too much. So we can just keep going. But yeah, he's gonna try to start this capture, and probably wants to go for the city as well. He's just gonna keep these artilleries to lock down all of these cities. And Killing First is also having to respect Grid's range. Look at, he has the super locked and loaded, so has to have everything just enough tiles away in case that he gets a super. And the more artillery he gets, the more he's going to be able to just, in a moment of misposition by Killing First, Jokers could get a super and just just start sniping everything. Just a single arty with a super, boom, takes out a tank. Another boom. Take out half or more of the army from Colin. And Killing First now at 51k. He has to respect that super. It's a very tricky moment right now. Like they're both banking on that super, on like on what I can do with his power. That Neo tank, I'm not sure if I mentioned already, but that Neo tank was on 100% just for charge. I think Killing First is looking now to get to that point of like, okay, I'm banking funds. I need to get that charge for that super, so then I can start putting pressure with my super. He does not want to allow any more of this. Like, look at how far he has to position. Like every vehicle, even the recons, are more further away than a super from grid. So only infantry could get shot at by this artillery in a super. Like you can see right here, it's 3 tiles away. This one, 3 tiles away. So it's insane. And so now Joker is gonna try to go for this city in the corner and this comm tower right here. Even gonna really greedily going for this, but it's because I think this rocket is locking both cities. So he's trying to force Killing First to be like, okay, which one do I shoot at? Do I send more units? The thing is that, can he actually? Okay, so he can interrupt with the rocket, and then he can interrupt this one with other units, I guess. But he would not be able to break through here and attack with something else onto this infantry. So that is what Jokas is going to be doing. Looks like maybe somewhat retreating from over here, just positioning more around the middle, and just keeping these in range to protect, because you got these 2 guys ready to go for that city. But this is a very tiny force for what's coming from Killing First. I mean, we'll see. But here goes artillery, tank, infantry. No power, no super used. So Rocket's actually gonna get a shot on that tank. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I hadn't seen that. Okay, he can kill that tank, and then I was thinking the recon. He can send the recon, right? But he's gonna send an infantry to interrupt. Ooh. Does he have? He has 90%. No, he has 100% firepower. Ooh, that was a bad roll right there. Yeah, that was a bad roll, because usually you get, let's see. This is probably not important enough for me to be checking right now, but yeah, that was a low roll of 3, and then at 7, I guess that infantry was chipped. but it was dropped down to 5. Boom. So Killing First doesn't look like he's gonna go for this corner. He's going to interrupt this with another infantry and just respecting. Ooh, look at how far the vehicles are having to move back. Just respecting that position so much. Not wanting to get shot at. This is they could just wreck this rocket in a single shot. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely, it comes to a point where, as Kill Me First, in that position, you want to like sort of bait them into using that super. Like, okay, yeah, go ahead, use your super. Take out my rocket with your artillery, and then no more charge, and then you have free reign. No, you're no longer worrying about that pressure from the super. And he actually uses the super as he gets the second comm tower. What does he see from the super? And look at that range. These artilleries have just become battleships. I'm not sure why the super is being used, because the only thing of value I see is you reaching this rocket. Boom. Yeah, rocket is gone. No more rocket. Bye rocket. So now, boom, we're gonna take out that tank. Then infantry probably join over here, take out that. Block. Just, it's a super to just take out infantry. Oh, and this might come back to bite Jokas back. I'm not sure that, I think that's the expression, something like that. But yeah, using the super, I think that was a really good bait by Killing First. I don't think that you really want to be using that. I think it was more so to get rid of the rocket and start forcing Killing First into sending units into interrupting this capture, and he can start killing his units. If you look at the unit value, it is pretty crazy, 140 to 88. But the reason for that is because look at the amount of funds that Killing First has, 71k in the bank. Now, let's take a second. Let's first see what are the movements here by Killing First, as he no longer has to worry. You can notice he's no longer worried about that extra range, that he can move further now. He can get further close to the army by Jokas, and now he's the one pressuring. Now he can put stuff 6 tiles away so he can reach those RDs and stuff like that. So now a very comfortable position by Killing First. But if you want to look at just, for example, infantry by COLIN against an infantry, like we were seeing, one comm tower does this kind of damage, right? With 63k, for example, with the super, right? Look at that damage. Look at that damage. A guaranteed 1-hit KO of an infantry against one on the city because of this amount of funds. This is absolutely insane. You want to see some other crazy stuff? Let's look at recon. Again, of course, a one-shot. Let's look at an artillery, for example. Look at that. On a city, so on a plains, 1-hit KO. So recons will be one hit KOing RDs on plains. A tank against another tank on plains, 1-hit KO. Against RD, of course, 1-hit KO. It could even be at like, I don't know, 6 HP, 1-hit KO. Like, every single unit of Killing First could start 1-hit KOing everything. He can just plow through, he can just break through all the lines and take out all the artillery. So that's what's on the mind for Killing First, and that's what should be on the mind for Jokas. As insane as that might be, and what everything that has happened already, Jokas is actually gonna get both of these cities. He actually has the income lead. He has 15 over 13 and has both comm towers. So Grid's units have, well, infantry have 120, his RDs have 140, and his tanks have 100 normal. COLIN is down to the base, normal COLIN 90%. So at this point, if you're Jokas, you should be 100% happy with the state of the income in general and the properties, and now you just want to sit back, you can see he's just pulling back a little bit. I mean, of course, there's a lot of pressure from these units, so he definitely has to kind of pull back. but you want to amass. Now it's like, okay, now I need to defend. There's no need to keep pressuring anything else. I can just kind of respect the pressure from kill me first, not let my properties fall, and let me get to 50 units artillery, just like unit limit artillery. And what is he going to do about that? So, but he does have to be careful from that super from COLIN. COLIN first is just going to inch forward a tile or two forward, just staying away enough away in range from these artilleries, but as well making a nice little wall for this infantry, for example, to go for that city. So there's a lot of little things that are happening everywhere. You also have, for example, this guy and this guy ready to go for this city. You got these two guys ready to go for this city. This rocket is kind of like pointing at that city to like shoo away this tank. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of little things. You got this guy pointing at this city, maybe even the comm tower. So Jokas does have to respect all of that. Just has to like pull away just enough to not get just hit back, and enough that you can protect. And now we see the first ever rocket, double base skip rocket by Jokas. And now, boom, look at that range from that rocket. That is pretty beautiful if you are grid, and pretty horrible if you are up against this. But we have 41 units by grid against 36, 170,000 value against 116, but because he has 60k in the bank. So it's just like, if you look at the board, it's crazy. Like if this wasn't COLIN, you would be 100% dead right now. There's absolutely no chance for you to come back from here, and unless you have like a massive max blast or something of the sort. But this is just so hard to break through. There's so many artillery, and you only have recons and tanks and infantry. But no, this is COLIN. He does have 70k in the bank. He does have the super locked and loaded, so he can pop it at any time, and Jokas has to be careful with that. So slowly going to inch forward over here in the corner, going to be looking to threaten this city, this one, and this comm tower. Even going to try to go for that one, just like very slowly. Like he's at an income disadvantage right now, right? 15, 13. First time that grid has an income advantage, but killing first is going to be very patient. If there's something that I know killing first for, or like that I would describe him as a player, is that he's a very patient player. Very strategical, but doesn't really care about numbers as like advantage or whatever. It's more so the position and what you can do with the stuff on the board. And that's pretty much, I mean, yeah, you can say that about any top player, I guess, but different players have different styles. But yeah, anyways, we have this rocket. Wow, okay, now I understand why the rocket was made. This makes a lot of sense now. It was made to lock down this comm tower and this city from this freaking tile behind the mount. What is this match? What is this match? Just gonna make a big wall here of infantry and their artillery as well. I'm sure that Jokas is well aware that Kill Me First can use the super and just start KOing things. Like literally this infantry can KO this guy on the city or the mountain. It doesn't even matter. Now it's just a numbers game. You just have to have enough layers. You just have to have like a unit for every single of these units, and then you'll be fine. Because they will start boom, 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 just breaking through. Let's see, even an arty on a city. Boom, getting attacked by this guy with a super. Ooh, that's crazy. This recon can KO this arty, pretty guaranteed. And if not, the tank is more guaranteed, right? Yeah, look at that. So, absolutely insane. Do you want to see infantry as well? Sure, let's do infantry against an arty on the plains. Does like 4 or 5 damage. Anyways, it is now Kill Me First turn, and he is going to come down here. He's going to go for that comm tower in the city and just going to bring all these units to block off. Bring the rocket as well. I mean, remember, all this is in range of that rocket, but it is the classic overload the rocket in this case instead of the artillery. So now, which one do you interrupt? Do you interrupt the com tower? Do you interrupt the city? I would assume you would interrupt the city, because Grid doesn't really care for more firepower, and those COLIN units with a super will still KO yours. Doesn't really matter if he has a com tower or not. So I would just interrupt the city. But let's see, maybe he goes for both. If he can break through, I mean, you have to use a power. Oh, he doesn't have any charge, so he cannot use any power. So he's gonna send some infantry forward. Gonna get some shots and some infantry. Gonna send that tank. Was this a roll? Was that tank hit a roll? Okay, it wasn't. It was actually a good roll. See, I won. And that rocket actually took out the tank. Okay, so he's not going to interrupt the city or the com tower. So maybe he's happy enough just being equal income at 14k, and maybe he feels like he can hold on to this corner, but decides to use the rocket to take out a tank instead. And it's gonna pull back over here, using all of his terrain, the mountain, the rivers, just to close off, and block it off with infantry. Because this pressure is real. Not having the power of the super from Jokas is hurting him so much positionally. Remember, a few turns before, he was all over here, and Killing First was all the way back, even putting Riggins all over here. Like, now that he no longer has that super or any charge whatsoever, because he wanted to kill a single rocket and some other things, now Killing First has all the momentum. He can dictate, and here it is. The moment has come for the COLIN super. I'm just gonna click forward and let's see some explosions. Oof. Tank kills another tank, captures there, starts another capture, kills the tank on the forest. That rocket is bye-bye. Jokas even makes some medium tanks to try to wall off, and I think this is a great idea. I think this medium tank should have been earlier though. Let's see. Could these tanks deal with a medium tank on a plains? I mean, yeah, 2 tanks and that medium tank is dead though, so it would have been a good like 1 tile wall, but if there's 2 tiles to attack from, that medium tank was dead. Yeah. Bye-bye artillery. Bye-bye. Boom. Another tank. Boom. Absolutely disgusting. Again, now on this front, boom, boom, just killing everything. I was thinking maybe you could kill this and you just start killing all of this stuff, but he just wanted to kill that artillery and that was it. And then this image is going to be ready to get that com tower or that city, and you start the capture. No, okay. And look at that. Jokas had like 0 charge and now he has all of it. It makes double tank recon, just keeps that income, keeps the bank, the 63k bank of funds. Absolutely wild. Let's look at the swing of unit value. 198, 128, 70,000 just evaporated like that without any counter attack. So even also blocking over here, which is really annoying. Like, you have to break through here. But let's see. Maybe Jokas can use a power. Maybe uses a super. Like, this artillery could reach this one. You do have 4, 5 artillery, so you could take out 5 tanks, maybe 6 with this medium tank. We'll see. He likes to use a power. The normal power. I think it makes a lot of sense. So, 1 tank gone. Recon gone. Another one. Another one. Gonna take out that infantry, take out that, gonna get this guy in position to protect these 2 properties, doesn't want to let any of these fall, doesn't get the kill on that tank, that is gone, 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 doesn't even doesn't even attack. Wait. It would have done 3 or 4 damage, so it would have left it at 6 or 7, and then the counter attack would have been like 8 or 9. That is insane. So he just he just leaves it there in front. That's just insane. And actually gets a shot to interrupt this, but doesn't reach to. I mean, he could if he wants to. He can take this recon out and then interrupt with a tank. He probably thinks about it, thought about it real hard. You know, when someone leaves those units to be the last thing in their turn, it's because they're thinking long and hard if maybe to do it or not. And he does not. He's gonna let that city fall. Now it's killing for his turn. He no longer has the charge, so he no longer has that tool to pressure with the super. He does still have all those funds though, so maybe he will get the charge soon for the super again. So we'll see. So, but at least he already has that bank. Yeah, as long as he can keep that bank there, he'll always have that element. Now he's gonna start to try to flip this probably right here. Again, Jokas can shoot at it with a power if he can get a power. If not, I'm not sure how you would be able to break through. You have to send the medium tank to take out this infantry and then send the tank. It's like pretty bad. It's like a very high investment to interrupt this. But yeah, he kind of has to pull back. Doesn't want to, and he probably should not keep attacking over here. So got a nice turn there with that super and spent quite a bit of funds. Double neo tank recon, still keeping 38 in the bank. So, and this is a long game. Jokas is gonna move over here. It looks like he's not gonna interrupt that capture. I mean, what would you say? Do you think that COLIN is winning here? Is Grit winning? Which position would you rather be? Right? You always have to think in that. I think now that Kingfish doesn't have any charge, Jokas, as we just saw, can boom move a little bit closer, just push a little bit further, 1 tile, 2 tiles, try to go for again to try to flip some stuff. Those were some really great past, I don't know what they were, 8-10 turns of kill me first, slowly with the bait to have Jokas spend the charge and then slowly inch forward, get the super to bam hit really hard and gets 2 property flips plus these as well. So really good there by Kimmy first. Now kind of has to pull back. Maybe these neo tanks can help him out to hold the line. We're back to where we were pretty much at like day 10 or 15 or so, where Jokas has 12k, Kingverse has 16k. I think this property should be somewhat flippable by Jokas. It is right next to that base, but there's so much army everywhere that it is really hard. So we'll see. Maybe Jokas should just wait until the end of time and just accumulate 50 artillery or 50 rockets and just lock, just range the whole map pretty much. Because at a certain point, it's like you can't even reach those things. Like you have these forests and mountains and rivers, and these rockets, like they can just shoot, you know, like from really far away. So King First is going to be sending these new tanks down here. It looks like gonna bring this rocket to just kind of, I guess, shoo away these guys. Has to be careful from the power. It is almost ready, so has to keep those neo tanks just 1 tile away from a power from grid. But yeah, kind of doing a diagonal, just having a very flexible position. Do I go one side? Do I go the other? I think he's just trying to protect all the properties. He wants to maintain this one, so this rocket is blocking that property. He has infantry in range of the city as well. But we have so many indirects everywhere. Like, look at all these artillery. It's like, just remember how we were in the first few turns where Jokas had 1 artillery, right? Then 2 artillery. Like, wow, now he has 2. Oh, then he had 3. No, now he has like 20. You want to be more precise? Okay, he has 13 artillery and a rocket. And Killing First has 2 rockets. This is the 3rd one he's made because he lost 1. And Jokas is just like being very careful. Just gonna tread carefully, stays away from the rocket. I don't think that Jokas should push any further from over here. I think he's happy with this. He's like, okay, I got the city, I got the comm tower. This is good. We can do this. And so now Killing First is gonna try to push out over here. has this infantry in range of that city. Just trying to, like, sure, you don't want to push any further. You want to pull back. Okay, I'll keep the pressure going so that you're forced to spend resources over here to defend these properties. So, just slowly inching forward, putting recons and infantry on the front lines so that if anything gets shot by a power, it's those, and then keeps the good stuff, you know, the neo-tanks and the tanks away from a power from grid. And it looks like Jogas might be plunging in right now. He's going to attack a few infantry. And attack. I mean, he's not going to get a power though. He's just going to position. He's going to ball around over here with all these rivers and these mountains. So just making this big death ball. Going to pull these guys back. With this one locking that city, but look at this death ball, right? You got even these mountains, these rivers. It's going to be really tricky to break through. Remember, King First does not have any charge, so he cannot get a super this turn. I am pretty sure. So what will King First do? Do you attack? Do you attack with a neo tank here and you start start attacking? It's really tricky to break through. Like, for example, this tank cannot be killed. You need a neo tank to kill this tank because there's a mountain and there's a river. Same with this one. So really interesting position, and if you start trying to attack, there's so many artillery and rockets to protect. So let's see. He is actually going to send a neo tank. Gonna first strike all of these infantry, so gonna try to peel this first layer. Oh, it actually takes out the neo tank with a tank, so that lets him use a neo tank to kill one of these tanks that otherwise would not have been able to be KO'd. So now he can KO. He can start doing this double attack. Gonna even attack an artillery right there. Attacks another one, and probably keeps the other ones back here because just like to keep feeding into this attack. Just keep injuring grids and indirects. Has so many recons. How many recons? 17 recons. Insane. And makes double tank recon, just keeping that bank of like over 50k at all times, because eventually he will get that super. And Jogas decides to use the snipe attack, the power. Got that shot with that from that rocket onto that neo tank, left it at 3, which is insane. And now he uses the power to get a shot into that infantry. Gonna take out that, reposition this guy to maybe just defend over here. I'm just gonna start taking out vehicles from Kill Me First. Boom, boom, boom. Even is able to shoot and take out that neo tank. So now King First has no neo tank. But after all these attacks, look at that charge. Now King First is ready for that super. He lost those neo tanks. Those gave him enough charge for that super. And this is the danger of COLIN. This is why COLIN is never allowed. It is not. He's not only too strong because units are so cheap, because he can get extra money with just 2 stars. It's because of that super. Just imagine COLIN in high funds, where you have 40, 60k income in your bank at all times, pretty much. So he can use, and like you get charged really fast in high funds. COLIN is probably the most OP CO in high funds. There's probably no other CO that can beat him. And if you want to prove my statement wrong, then go ahead and play a game and maybe I'll cover it. Like these guys are doing, which I'm not sure. Again, I don't know what was their point that they were trying to prove here. The game is literally just called COLIN versus Grid, which I find really funny. This rocket is just going to shoot at this infantry, and look at this diagonal of recons, and that's all really Kill Me First needs. He just needs recons, and they with a super they'll kill infantry and artillery all day, every day. He just needs a few tanks to take out the tanks. That's it. That's all he needs. So Jogas has to be very careful. He has to pull back. That super is ready to go. It's just insane. That pressure is so real. That infantry is going to go down. He probably won't start a capture. He's going to try to, again, slowly inch forward, pressure, with the units just 1 or 2 tiles. I think this is now 2 tiles. Just getting all of these recons in range. All of these are gonna one-shot everything that's here. And there's so many of them, right? You have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these 9 could one-shot 9 units over here, except this tank. So, insane. Joker's going to just try to take out some, but at this point, it's like you can see how strong Colin is with that super. Like, what can you do about it? It's just too much. The fact that recons that cost him 3k cost him 3k to make, they can one shot most of your army. It is just it's just insane. It is. I don't think there's any way around this. You would think that maybe Grid is like, okay, yeah, I'll amass enough units and artillery and whatever, but it's like it doesn't even matter. I honestly don't think that Jokas can win here, because what are you gonna do? All these trades, fine, yeah, you send 2 units, you kill 1, whatever. These guys are ready to attack. These are ready to feast. He's having to make all these medium tanks because that's the only thing that won't die to these recons. It's the only thing that won't die in 1 shot from these tanks. But they will in 2 shots. It's just ridiculous. Like, this is so dire. This position is so dire for Jokas. Like, this tiny army is just gonna shred this. He probably has to give up this. He's trying desperately to hold on to that city and com tower with his single artillery, but you know that's not gonna hold. The moment that King First wants to use a super, and he joins a few recons to get more money, to get that super with that extra firepower. And this might be it, guys. This might. I know it's not much, but look at that 4 HP guy taking out a 6 HP one. Infantry, boom. Tank, boom. That's 5 damage. That's as if like it was a normal medium tank. Another one, boom. That one's on a 4, so it has a little bit more defense. Tank, 1 shot. Tank KOs that medium tank. Tank KOs that tank. 1 shot. 1 shot. 1 shot. Just brutal. Over here, same. This corner is just gonna absolutely fall apart. Boom, boom. Gonna take out more infantry. How many Indriks are there now here? 2, and this rocket. Boom, boom, boom. It is just like absurd amount of power that the CO has. Colin is just way too busted. Double Neo Tank Recon. Again, to get more charge. Like, if this keeps going, just send the Neo Tanks. At this point, the army is just like wiped out. There's nothing from Jokas that he can do, really. He just decides to tap out. Makes 100% total sense. It is just, it's too much. Let's look at the stats. 64 kills from Jokas, 79 deaths, and that was probably from this last turn. He lost a lot. Pretty even actually in the value and stuff, but there's just nothing that Jokas can do right now. Like, fine, yeah, he doesn't have the power anymore, but Killing First found the perfect recipe. Like, at first it was a pretty even, it was coming and going. He was using the power to get more funds, to get more vehicles, to get the rocket and stuff like that. But at a certain point, he found the perfect recipe of like slowly banking enough funds to get to that 50 or 60k bank, and then getting the charge either by sending Neo Tanks or whatever, just sending units in to die to get the charge for it. And then it's like, okay, now I have the super, now I start pressuring you slowly take you to the corner of the earth, and then at a certain point, in a moment of weakness or a little dent in the wall, use the super and just destroy you and start flipping the stuff. The first one he did, he flipped like this whole corner was flipped, and then with his second one that he did, he just destroyed the army. So it was just over for Jokas. I think this match really displays how absurd Colin's power is, right? Well, the super, no? Like, he is a really good CO in on himself, just by the day to day and his power. But the super is just like the cherry on top. It's just like, it's just too much, man. Like, imagine like him in high funds. It's just that every single turn. There's just nothing you can do. I don't think even Hachi or no, I think anyone can beat Colin in high funds. There's just too much. I think this was a great game by both. They both displayed the stuff from their COs. Like, we saw stuff from Grit. Perfect map for Grit, right? 3 base, super choky, very little contested stuff, very small map, so like really close quarters. So you make an arty and next turn is already in the front lines, protecting stuff, putting pressure, whatever. Pretty easy to front switch, but not like if you have tanks and stuff, not really. Like, you have to go through these rivers and these mountains. It really was a great map for Grid. You can make a nice death ball over here. Against any other CO, I think Jokas would have been fine. I don't know, maybe even against Hachi he would have been fine, honestly. Like, it's just Colin's just too good. Doesn't matter how choky it is, doesn't matter how big the death ball is, he will one shot every single thing you have. Not even medium tanks could hold onto the power of those tanks. Just insane. So yeah, I think this game was a pretty good display of both COs, why they're never seen on Global League and tournaments, because they're pretty busted, and how Colin is just like at another level. So I don't think that these two guys, Jokas and Killing First, were expecting this game to get covered. But I really enjoyed it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. It was a fun one. And yeah, bye bye.